Hey folks, Crazy Collaborator here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 6 in our 20 from 1992 series, and this is the first game for the Sega Model 1 hardware. It has beautiful 3D polygon graphics, and it's a wonderful racer, and it is called Virtua Racing. And there were a number of different cabinets for this game. Some were stand-up regular one-player, and some were two-player simultaneous play with double screens on them. And some of them are sit-down one-player. But I don't recall specifically if I came across this. There's the control panel. Has your typical steering wheel, brake, gas pedal below. But there are also a start button. There are 4 viewpoint buttons in which you can change the way that you view the action. And they're very, very cool. One of them is inside the cockpit. One of them is like following just behind the car. One of them is floating just above the car. And one of them is fly mode, in which you're way, way, way high above the car. I do not recommend that because the action pans around and there will be a big old tunnel that you can go through, and you won't be able to see yourself if you do the fly mode. This had a number of home ports for Sega systems like Sega 32X, the Sega Genesis, and the Sega Dreamcast. There's probably a number of appearances on classic collection type of games, classic Sega collections. But yeah, there are colored buttons on the control panel that you can press that will change the viewpoint. There is also a gearshift up-down control, and you get the option to do manual or automatic, and default is automatic, and we're going to start with that. And you have a beginner, medium, or expert tracks to choose from. We're going to start with beginner. I'm not good at this. I'm not good enough to even complete a track in time. There are 5 laps that you need to complete. Yeah, look at those. That's pretty darn impressive graphics for 1992. It even, as you saw earlier, there's a pit crew. And you can actually enter the pit if you want. You're probably not going to complete the race in time if you do. Yeah, you lose a little bit of speed if you're going to hit the curb. Excuse me. And there was the pit right to the left there, right around the start point. And there are various checkpoints. In beginner and medium difficulty, those tracks, the checkpoints give you 10 seconds of time back, and there are 3 checkpoints, I believe, in each race. But in expert, you get 14 seconds back. And at the top right, you will see, yikes, at the top right, you will see the lap time that you've got for each lap. And if it's in red, that means that's your best time. And there is a top 24 list of racers, and if you get in the top 24 with your score, only if you complete the race, only if you complete it in time, then you can put in your initials. So in this first race, the beginner race, you have the pit start area, then there's the curve around fence, there's checkpoint 1, then there's a bridge, then there's checkpoint 2, and then there's more curves, and then there's a Ferris wheel. See the swinging ride that's on it. There's some kind of cool attention to detail in this game. And then lastly, there's the pit start area again. That's a completed lap. Yeah, I'm just generally not particularly great at racing games. I definitely appreciate them. They're really, really, really good in the 90s. My favorite is probably Daytona USA, which we'll get to one of these days. I just can't avoid hitting that damn curb there, or the side there, and losing a little bit of time. Oh, am I gonna make it? When your timer reaches 0 or a second after 0, you don't coast to a stop. You immediately stop, and your game will end. See? Moon River. But yeah, you have to complete the race to be able to put your initials in if you got high enough. Like I said, the top 24. But that is Virtua Racing. We will look at me completing the race in time. If you complete the race in time, but you don't make the top 3 in terms of the other racers competing, then you will not get a good ending. And here is the pit. We will look at the pit workers racing to take the tires off and do some other work on it. You will notice the difference. Your car will be better. It will steer better, maybe accelerate better. Yeah, you see at the top left my placement in the 16 racers. I'm currently 10th. I used cheats. There's a cheat to get infinite time, and then I took it off. But this will allow me to finish the race here, and I am on the 5th and final lap here. I do not recommend using the brake. If you've got a curve coming, lay off the gas before you get to the curve, and then just make simple adjustments to your direction. If you veer hard to the left or to the right, you're probably going to spin out a little bit. You can damage your car by slamming into other cars, slamming into walls, and you will see visible damage on your car. See, I get no real ending. I just get game over because I didn't place the top 3. If you place in the top 3, you will get a wreath. You will be walked to the first, second, third place platform. You will get a wreath, and if you're in first place, you will get a trophy, and you'll fling your hat out. It's kind of cool. Although the graphics of the characters are pretty primitive. They're in. There's a crash there. But some of the things you could crash into on the side of the road, you might see something interesting. We'll look at that in a little bit. And here is a cheat to get first place always.
Congratulations!
Yep, you get walked to the platform. You get to stand in first, and you get not only a wreath put around you, but you get to hold on to a trophy because you're first place. Yeah, very, very primitive. Oh, sorry about that. Bandicam got kind of glitchy there. And he takes off his hat, and he flings it. Whoosh. Pretty good arm. And then you got to put in your initials. Yeah, there was a link cable, I think, on or available for Virtua Racing games to have multiple cabinets connected and to have more than just two-player simultaneous racing. And we're going to look at the different viewpoints. You can see some kind of glitching sometimes in the graphics. Yeah, we'll see the different viewpoints that you can look at by pressing the different colored buttons on the control panel. Like I said, there's inside the cockpit viewpoint, there's just behind viewpoint, there's just above viewpoint, and there's way high viewpoint. I do not recommend this way high one here. I just didn't really care at this point. I like the skid marks that you see on the road. That's kind of cool attention to detail, and I like the birds that fly off when you start your race on the medium race, the medium course. Yeah, bumping into a car will spin you and them out, and they can hit you from behind too, so watch out. Excuse me. Yikes. Like I said, it's only 10 seconds time regained from the checkpoints in beginner and medium races. And on the medium race, yeah, don't run through the signs and run into that barrier you can't go through. So when you see the signs, don't plow through them. There's one area, not here, a little bit later on, where you can, and you might actually get a little bit of a right there. Or no, not there. There is one point where you can plow through the signs and maybe save a little bit of time if you do so. Maybe. Here, we'll look at maybe a little bit better racing. There's a tunnel here. I like the big old windmill. Yeah, that has the barrier that you'll slam into that. So here is where you could cut over through the signs onto the other side. Maybe that's not a shortcut, really. Yeah, don't go through the signs there. There's another barrier. So most of the time when you see turn signs, there's going to be a barrier you can slam into, but not. Yeah, there too. That's right. But yeah, the expert track will grant you 14 seconds for every checkpoint you go through. The expert track has a really nasty hairpin turn, and we'll get to that in a little bit. If you hold down the start button and then press the gas to start a race, you will choose manual transmission, and then you can use the gear shift, and there will be 7 gears. And there might be a button to shift up and a button to shift down. We'll look at that a little bit. Oftentimes you won't need to turn as sharply as you might think. You can just make little turns left and right as you go through certain curbs. Like I said, if you crank the steering wheel too hard to the left or right, you're probably going to spin out. If you hit if you hit the trees, you'll see coconuts fall. It's kind of funny. And there are cows that you can chase off the side of the road by driving towards them. We'll see that in a little bit. There will be some areas where you'll see water, bodies of water on the side of the road. You won't be able to drive into the water. See? And there's the coconuts. Some cool attention to detail in this game. I like the sparks that fly when you're trying to adjust, or you're hitting the brake or something. Yeah, there's some glitchy moments in Virtua Racing, or maybe it was intentional that it pushed you back that far. I don't know. Looked weird. Looking at more viewpoint changes. Run, cows. They don't want to be turned into a hamburger. But we're going to eventually finish up this race in the medium difficulty. Yeah, you can see the difficulty that you're on at the bottom right, and you can see the course layout rotate as you move through the course. And here is the goal, and I use the cheat to get first place. And it's the same as all the endings are the same in each difficulty, except for the distance that you throw your hat. Yeah, looks pretty dated when they see the graphics of the people, but it's still really, really cool for its time. Yeah, not as far as the first race, the beginner course. We'll go ahead and start looking at the expert course. And again, if you hold down the start button and then press the gas pedal at the same time, you'll change to manual gear shift. And you'll see that at the bottom left next to the speed. It says gear 1, and again there are, I think, buttons that let you change the gear. And of course, if you're like recovering from a crash or just starting a race, you'll want to start at 1 and then gradually increase the gear 2, 3, 4, etc. up to 7. And then maybe change the gear when you're going around, lower the gear when you're going around curves. Unless you can handle the curves easily, of course. We'll change our viewpoint again here. But yeah, here's that hairpin I was talking about. Ooh. Yikes. I'm not good at racing games. Like I said, my favorite one is probably Daytona USA. That is a beautiful, beautiful game. Yeah, if you slam full on into a wall or another car or something, you'll flip over and you'll get to see some visible damage on your car. I don't know if you can blow up. I've tried to slam into walls over and over and over again. I don't think I've ever blown up on this game. But we're just gonna see some footage of the. Yeah, you can't go into the water. The game won't let you. It would have been kind of cool to see your car go under the water. will see me complete this race in a little bit. The pitting is completely not recommended. You cannot go over that shoulder to like go into this lane. Yeah, see, I'm trying to go in the water, it won't let me. It slows me down to a crawl, and then there's little graphical glitching there. Yeah, this game isn't perfect, but it sure is smooth for the most part. Whoops. I don't remember if I actually came across this in arcades, but it was definitely popular enough to have a number of those home ports that I was talking about. Hey, you can start to see some damage visibly on my car. If you know you've lost the race, then why not pit? It's kind of cool looking, even if the people on the pit crew are kind of janky looking. For its time, this was definitely revolutionary in the 3D polygon fad of the 90s. Hell, it started before that. Excuse me. The big progenitor of the 3D polygon craze could be iRobot from 1983 by Atari Games. Excuse me. Or maybe it's just called Atari at the time. Excuse me, dang. Got a lot of phlegm in my throat this morning. I like the rotating... Hey, get out of my way, butthead. I like the rotating course layout on the right. Yeah, the music isn't too bad. There's not a whole lot of it. Oftentimes you'll just hear the whine of your engine. Why not? Let's pit. My best friend who died quite a while back. He used to be on a pit crew. He said one time Paul Newman was at the PIR, or Portland International Raceway, and he was on his pit crew, and he almost got run over by him. And this is the last lap. We're almost about to finish it, and I'll put on the cheat that gives you first place automatically. It doesn't show up until you cross the finish line. But yeah, I really dig this game. This is pretty cool. As I said, there was a Genesis, Sega 32X, and a Dreamcast port, I believe. Apart from that, I don't know if there were any other ports. And now we're going to look at my finish, even though I had a kind of beat-up car. These are kind of ugly clothes that the racers are wearing. How far does he throw his hat this time? Actually, it flies right at you. Kind of cool. Well, that was Virtua Racing by Sega in 1992, game number 6. Hope you have a great week. Hope you're getting some nice sunshine like I am. It's going to cloud over a little bit, but it's still going to be pretty warm. But yeah, there are the top 24 places that you can reach to put in your initials. Well, this was game number 6, Virtua Racing by Sega. Landmark polygon 3D game. Well, I thank you for watching. This is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for viewing my videos. I enjoy putting them out. Well, this is game number 6, and I hope you join me soon for game number 5. Bye-bye, folks.